The first thing that I'd like to offer is that when it comes to mindset, the mindset that we want that load master to have, it's the mindset of a leader. So you start with those 7 critical skill sets that I alluded to. And in those 7 critical skill sets, we have professional knowledge, situational awareness, assertiveness, decision-making, communication, leadership, and adaptability, flexibility. And when you look at those 7 critical skill sets, leadership is one of those skill sets. And so we train that load master, those young people, those frontline workers, we train them with those 7 critical skill sets. And if we do our job training them with those 7 critical skill sets, then they'll already be prepared to lead where they are, and then they'll be prepared to lead when they move into other roles of moral responsibility. So you talked about going from an individual contributor to a leader or individual contributors in teams. And so what that ends up doing is they are already prepared to step into that role. We just have to get them to begin to understand the level of responsibility changes. That professional knowledge, you have to increase your level of professional knowledge. That situational awareness, you have to increase your level of situational awareness and maybe even change that situational awareness based on your level of responsibility or that role and that responsibility that you'll have when you start going into a different role as a leader, moving from that load master, that frontline worker, to say middle management or some other role with a higher level of responsibility. So then literally you can go through those 7 skill sets, and as you go through each one of those 7 critical skill sets, it begins to change, and we just modify it. Amount of professional knowledge, what kind of situational awareness you would have, the level of assertiveness, and at what point you want to have that level of assertiveness, the decision making. If you learn how to make decisions as a load master, then you're prepared to make decisions as a leader in a title position with more responsibility. Communication, we continue to work on that. I want you to work more on that level of communication. It's a different level of adaptability and flexibility that I want that person to go for. And so the mindset is just changing what role you're in, and then understanding that it just requires all of those pieces of the puzzle just from a different perspective. And that's how I would want to ensure that when that person goes from a load master to a different level of responsibility or a higher level of responsibility, that they understand how they can leverage those 7 critical skill sets to be more effective in a larger way, but continuing to understand that you can be a leader and you can practice those skill sets at the baseline level, at that frontline level. And hopefully that's helpful to answer that particular question.